All right, we're going live. It is early in the morning here where I'm at, and today it is snowing. It is so pretty outside. If I could undo my phone so that I could look out the window and show you, I would. Problem is, everything's all set up on the tripod, and I don't want to have to undo that to show you what it looks like, but it's really, really pretty outside. So this is one of the tags. Hi, Esther. This is one of the tags I'm supposed to be doing for the K-Pop Secret Santa weekly tags, and I've just been so bad at it. I've got like 4 unfilmed tags I need to do, but I'm trying my hardest to get as many of them filmed before December the 5th as I can. And I've got, what, 3 weeks left to do it, so I've really got to get on the ball. So this is the favorite album packaging tag. Hi, JoJo World. And this tag is basically showing some of my favorite types of packaging, or favorite packaging done for various reasons. So the thumbnail, I showed you guys this album, which is Dean's 130 Trouble Mood. Thank you. I'm going to try my hardest. This is Dean's 130 Trouble Mood, and I love this packaging, and it's hard to explain why I love this packaging because, as you can tell, it's super small, it's very simple, it's a digipack. And most people, if you buy K-hip hop, you understand that a digipack is what you're going to get because that's just the way that they do their albums. But this one is very special to me because this album is very special. The album is done as kind of the story of a relationship, and the timeline goes from back to front instead of front to back. So we end up with the very first song on this album starting after the relationship is well and truly over. And then the last song on the album is the beginning of the relationship when he first meets the girl in the club, and everything that happens in between makes up the remainder of the album. And the album has a very trippy feel, and it's also, like I said, the timeline is very upside down. Well, this album is actually very upside down. So you get the one image here, which I've been told by people that this is actually the image of Lizzie Borden's father as they found him after he had been murdered in his home, which that's a startling thing to put on your album cover. But then when you turn it upside down, you can see Dean right there, the lights on, and the interior of a home. And it's like that throughout this album. As you open it up, you open it and look, there's the doorknob. You didn't see it before. And when you open it up, you've got more of these kind of weird images. You've got doors on walls. You've got stairways that lead to nowhere. You've got a bathroom here where you see the man sitting down on what you don't know. And then when you flip it around, there's the bathroom. It's just so quirky and so different, and there was so much thought put into this that for me, if you're gonna do a digipack, this is the way you want to do it. Like, I think this is hands down my favorite digipack that I've ever received from anybody. Normally, the digipacks are very, very simple, but as simple as this is, it really gets its point across. It works very well with the music. The very first song, you hear the cops knocking on the door and you see all the crime scene tape. Like, it works that perfectly. And so this is probably some of my favorite album packaging just because of how well it goes with the music. Next, we have this, which is TVXQ's new chapter, number 1, The Chance of Love. Now, I don't have a whole bunch of TVXQ stuff, but I have been trying to buy most of the stuff from the Home and Pair because I really like their music. I'm missing a couple of repacks because for them, I normally like to buy the repacks. And this was one that when I first saw it, I didn't think it was anything special. It's kind of magazine style packaging. So you've got this kind of thicker, larger shaped booklet. I think the CD was in a sleeve, which is never my favorite. I never advocate for that. But what I love about this packaging is that because this is made like a magazine, there are interviews in this packaging. The interviews are translated to English. That is a huge step when it comes to being a fan. So here's an example. It says, under what name are you guys saved in each other's phone and why? And then I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys to see this. Look, the answers are in English. Will your faves ever? Oh my gosh, when I first saw this, I had not watched, I'm sorry, my phone is like not wanting to zoom out. When I first saw this, online. I didn't pay any attention to any unboxings for this, so I had no idea. And then I think I did a live maybe where I took the plastic off and was showing everybody the album. I was stunned when I realized that there was English in here. And it's like that all the way through. And I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. I mean, now more than ever, K-pop is a very international genre. There's a lot of people from all over the place listening to K-pop, buying K-pop, going to K-pop concerts, buying merchandise. And with that being the truth, why wouldn't you use a language that most of the world knows how to speak or can translate easily and use that as a medium for communication? Because even if you don't speak English, you probably have access to like Google Translate or something like that. You can take that English and translate it fairly easily. And you might could take the Korean and translate it easily to Indonesian or whatever you want to. Good morning. But for a lot of people, they get more clear translations going from English to whatever language than they do from going, between other languages. I know I'm explaining it in a weird way, but trust me, it makes sense because I've tried it before. So that's another one that I really, really enjoy. Okay, because I can't do a favorite packaging without having some shiny in there, because I can't do any of my unboxings without having a little shiny in there. Well, any of my tag videos. This is my favorite shiny packaging. So when this came out, I swooned. I died. I had to have it. This is the cassette version of One of One. This is the original one I got in the mail. I bought it from Music Plaza, I think, when it first came out. I've never opened it. Actually. So this is One of One, and then you could see it's still got the plastic wrap on, and it's a live, genuine, for real cassette. I know that because I have people who I'm friends with, shawol360, shout out girl, who has actually played this, and it works. I have no way of verifying this because he sent it over Snapchat, so it's not saved. But I actually sent a copy of this cassette to JRE from JRE KML, and he received it in part of his fan mail, and he actually played it in his car, which was really pretty cool. But yeah, I just think this is magnificent because if you're going to do a 90s concept, why wouldn't you use a 90s music medium as a part of the marketing for it? And of course, it was never intended for this to be bought as like your official copy of the album. Like, I don't think the SM made 50,000 of these like, yes, this is how we're going to sell this album. No, it was more of a merchandise type of thing. This is definitely something that's more for the collector in you. But I still think it's brilliant that they brought back the cassette tape for this one album. And it's just a treasure. It is a treasure. It is super special to me, and I'm so grateful that I have it. And it is one of my favorite packagings because it just goes with the theme. I think that's something that is very important to me. Like I said, with the Dean album, I like for the music and the packaging to work very well together. And this is an example of that. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So there's this, which is Big Bang's 4th album, The Special Edition. This has the song Tonight on it. It's got a couple other really good songs. The track list is right here. So Love Song is great. Tonight is great. Hi Hi, Oh Yeah, Cafe, I Need a Girl, Someone to Love. I mean, this is just chock full of hits, actually. And the reason why this is the special edition is because it took the songs on the 4th album and it included singles from the Top GD project and from the Taeyang project. So yeah, this is special edition because it's got these extra songs on it as well. But what I love about this packaging is how quirky and weird and different it is. So first of all, this thing weighs like 3 pounds. Like it's super heavy, but it's heavy because it's got a lot of mechanics going into it. So you start out with the front of this, and this is where the photo book is. So you snap off this glass coating here, which makes up the face of the booklet. Then you can pop out the booklet. So there you go. And this came with a photo card, but I gave my photo card to Katie Boo 1979 to help her complete her collection. So I don't have it. There's this brochure here. So there you go. And then inside you've got all of your pictures and everything else from all of the different promotions for everything. So you've got pictures from the Tonight stuff, you've got pictures from the 4th album, you've got some GD Top pictures, you've got some Taeyong pictures from his solo efforts. So it's got a lot of different things on here. So it's really, really nice. But then you're saying to yourself, well, where's the CD? I mean, if that's the booklet and everything, where is the CD? I'm going to try to pop this back in here without hurting it, because actually, this is actually pretty fragile packaging, so you got to be really careful with it. This is where the CD is. It sits in this tray right here, almost like a CD player. So the CD's right here, it goes in, and when you press it in, it stays, and it says Big Bang right here. Then when you want to take it out, you press it, and it pops out, and there's your CD. And there's like a roller track inside of it. That is the coolest thing. Like, I've never seen any packaging like that before, and I know I won't see it ever again, because this had to have cost so much money to produce when it came out, because it's just got so many different moving parts. So I imagine this was limited edition, because YG's like, we're not going to spend that kind of money on packaging ever again. But it's really cool to have, and I wanted to make sure I included it in my favorite packaging. So let's move on to something a bit more recent. This right here. This is Red Velvet's Summer Magic. This is an album that I did not expect the packaging for when it was announced that they were doing these limited editions, because I had gotten so used to getting these jewel cases that I thought it was either going to be a jewel case or a booklet. That's all we've really gotten from Red Velvet, except for when we got the Rookie album that was like the book inside of a book thing, which that was strange. That was strange more than anything. So this limited edition packaging is just so fun and so pretty that it's become one of my new faves. First of all, I don't know if you could tell, but the photography for this, the way that it's printed, it's glossy and it's like super HD clear. And so it looks very rich. Like, it has a very rich, the colors are startling. Everything is crystal clear. Like, it looks amazing just right off the bat. But that's just the slipcase. You open it up and you have this book here that's slotted. And inside of here is a box with all the little parts. So you can like make a little pop-up scene right here. Isn't that wonderful? That's so much fun. It's like you get a game inside of your album. I think it's wonderful. I've never used it myself just because I found this very difficult to open, and so I didn't want to keep opening and closing it, so I've just left everything in here, but I think it's fantastic. Also, this is a box that doesn't close very well, so that's why this slipcase is so desirable, because you don't have to worry about, can I get this box to close? As long as you can get it to fit inside the slipcase, it's gonna close. So that's brilliant for being able to keep it all together in one piece and things not flopping out everywhere. Like, this is just really A1 terrific packaging, and I'm so glad that we finally got something special and different for Red Velvet, because packaging wise it's been a bit dull for them, so this was really, really nice. Okay, next, since we're talking about games, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this one right here. So this is Haze's The Wind, I believe is what it's called, or it's just Wind maybe. So this is the front, this is the side. This is the limited edition version. It is out of print. It went out of print fairly fast, but for a very great reason, because along with having these really pretty cards, which I guess if you're a big Haze fan, you could like frame these if you wanted to, and having a nice booklet, inside is this, which is, I think this is like this is a pop-up. Yeah, it's a standee pop-up. And you have this, which is a box that you can make to keep your Jenga pieces, because I think the lead single is called Jenga, so she's got Jenga pieces in it. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I've never seen anything like it. The closest I've ever seen to it, you're going to see in just a moment, but yeah. What a brilliant idea. And this was not very expensive. It was limited edition, so like I said, it's out of print now. It's very hard to get. But this was like 20 bucks, maybe $25. It wasn't that expensive. And I'm talking including shipping. It was not very expensive at all. But yeah, you've got the box, you've got the game pieces, you've got the pop-up, you've got the photo book right here, and you've also got your little still postcards. It's amazing. I mean, it gives you so much. And for this being kind of a K R&B, K hip hop style artist, like not somebody who's mainstream, you don't usually see this kind of effort being taken in packaging. So, for that reason alone, it stands out in my mind, and I really, really love it. Now, I'm surprised that I've got two albums by the same artist on this playlist because I didn't expect to do that. But I have another TVXQ offering here. Now, this was given to me by the super lovely and wonderful Onu Mania, who I miss all the time because she's never online anymore. But she gave this to me just as like a thank you for being a nice person gift. It was really weird. She didn't have to do it, but just like randomly it showed up at my house. This is TVXQ's Sorry Sorry, which is one of my favorite songs by them, and it's definitely one of my top 3 videos for them. But it comes with this really cool kind of card motif. So you see kind of like the 2 kings, and then the kings again, and Max. You pop out the tray here, because it's a tray, which you don't see many K-pop trays for a good reason, because the side where the tray opens up tends to be the weakest side, which makes these type of tray packagings be a bit weak. So that's why you don't see it very often unless it's done immaculately. Inside, you get both a little lyric book type thing right here, and you get your advertisement, of course, but you get a deck of cards. So the video, if you've never seen the video for Sorry Sorry, which you should watch, the video for Sorry Sorry, they have the deck of cards that they're playing with at the very beginning of the video. And they're tossing cards left and right in the video. You get a deck of cards with the album. Come on. Is that not perfect marketing? Now, I've opened this maybe once before, so I don't remember, but I think these cards are special. Let's find out, because I feel pretty sure they are. Yes, they are, because they have images of TVXQ, well, at least Changmin and for the last several years. So, like, there's younger photos of them. There are newer photos of them. I mean, look at that face. Oh my gosh, what the baby. But yeah, it's got tons of photos of them on every single card. And that's the reason why you don't have a photo book with this album. So yeah, this is one of my favorite packagings because I've never seen anything like it, and to this day, I probably never will. First of all, because this is an expensive thing to produce, doing all these little cards and everything else. I mean, they're very thin cards. They're not the kind of cards you'd want to play with, but doing all these cards and printing the box the way you do, this is just an example of some more expensive packaging that a lot of companies aren't going to want to spend the money on. But this was also a part of their whole like season of anniversary albums. So yeah, it made sense for them to do that because I want to say that this is the repackaged to Tense. I feel like I'm telling the truth on that. I don't know. So yeah, this is really great, and if you have the chance to get this, you need to get this because once this goes out of print, it will never be reproduced. I mean, I just don't see it happening because it's too special, but it is by far one of my favorite packagings that I've ever had done. And again, the packaging goes with the video. It's just, there you go. There you go. So now let's just go into some like fun packaging that I like because it's kind of quirky. There's not many more left, so we're almost done here. We have this, which is June K's Mr. No album. I like this because of that kind of holographic thing going on. I think that's really cool. So it's a slipcase right here, and it's kind of dark. When you look at it head on, it's kind of dark. And then on the back, Mr. No, you've got your track list here. Yeah, like, I don't know if I was in a record store and I saw this, if I would think to pick it up right away. But one of the things I love about it, and you can't really see it on camera, is because of the slipcase and the holographic nature of the cover, this almost has a 3D look. And I just hate that it doesn't show up on camera, but it almost looks like he's standing there and there's like a background far behind him, like lit up LED screen. You take off the slipcover, and then you have more of this. There, it kind of shows up a little bit more in that way. But yeah, I just think that that's so cool. I mean, the rest of it is basically just a booklet, so like nothing else that just really pops out. But except for the fact that like, oh my gosh, this man's body. Come on now. Nothing else really that I would say really stands out features-wise, but I just really love the way that this cover has so much depth to it because of the holograph and then like the dottedness of the case here. Also, what's really cool about this is because I think this was after they had did Michigo, yeah, Go Crazy. And so Go Crazy has a very similar slipcase to it. So it kind of brings it back to the 2 p.m. link. So yeah, good times, good times. This is packaging that I don't even think a lot of people have, just because his career has kind of gone down in recent years. But this is Hyunsung from Beast's first and maybe only solo album. And the packaging is very simple, but it's something that I have never seen before and I don't think I'll ever see again. So it opens like that. So it's got a hard case around a soft photo book. I've never seen anything like it to this day. And I didn't think it would work, but it actually does work. So that's the photo book. The album didn't do too hot, even though I really thoroughly enjoyed this album. I'm trying to remember what my favorite song is on here. It's number 4, but I don't know the name of the song. All I can say is it's track number 4, but that was my favorite song on here at the time. I remember distinctly it being track number 4. But overall, this was a really cool release. It didn't do very well, and shortly after that, things with him and the other members of Beast Now Highlight fell apart. But I always keep this, and I always remember how much I loved this packaging. And then last, just because this is something that I don't see much anymore, but was one of my favorites when it was more prominent, is the packaging for BTS's School Love Affair. Now, one of the drawbacks of this packaging is that it's very sensitive. So it's kind of a cardboard style, and sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so this is BTS's School Love Affair, and as you see, my copy's got a little bit of a ding here, because these cardboard albums, they tend to be a little bit more fragile. But one of the things that I remember loving about this album the first time I unboxed it, when I showed it on my channel, is the closure on this. So, hello, it's got a flap here, and then it's got a flap here, and then you've got the album on one side, you've got your photo book right in the middle. What I loved about this was the fact that this magnet keeps this flap from falling apart. So you can toss this album all you want to. It's not going to flap open because there's a magnet here to keep it closed. I think that's brilliant. You can actually see the magnets right here. The other thing I loved about this is it's School Love Affair, and it looks like it's a chalkboard. So I like that that relates to each other. I love that it's got the knob here. The knob is my favorite way to keep your CD inside of your album. It always has been. I've said it multiple times. And then you've got your super thick photo book here. Now, it is glued on one side, which can be a little bit scary at first, but you've got enough room that you can kind of flip through it, and it's not that bad, and it's not glued all the way. Like, it's glued up to a certain point, so you have enough room for flipping without tearing it off, which is a smart move. I've had some albums that have had glue all the way to the edge, and when you try to open up the photo book, it rips. So yeah, you got to be smart about how you glue stuff. But yeah, it makes it to where, since it opens completely, it's really easy to flip through. I love it. And I love that the theme all matches. They all look like a bunch of bad boys hanging out after school. I just love this packaging. I think it's fantastic, and I've loved it for a long time. So I'm really glad I had a chance to have this be one of my early experiences with BTS. It wasn't my first BTS album. My first BTS album was Oh Are You Late To, which also has really nice packaging. And then my first comeback with BTS was Dark and Wild, which I pre-ordered, also has extremely nice packaging. But this was the one that I bought almost right after Dark and Wild because I Need You and Run and all that stuff. I don't think it had come out yet. And I love this packaging. I truly, truly do. So that's everything that I have for my favorite packaging tag. I hope that you guys enjoyed whatever you were able to see, because I know some of you joined a little bit later. But one of the main reasons why to this day I continue to buy physical copies of K-pop albums is because of the packaging. I think the packaging is unique. It's like nothing I've ever seen in any other genre. And I would be really sad if K-pop decided not to do this anymore. Like, if K-pop decided to go just to jewel cases, like your regular standard American jewel case, like if K-pop decided that every artist was going to do this, like what Zion T did with his last album, I would be heartbroken. because this is a part of what makes K-pop so different than every other musical avenue out there, because it's a mix of sound and sight and texture and experience. So I really, really hope that K-pop never changes, always stay the same. Music can evolve, but packaging, absolutely, I hope it always stays this way, because it is some of the most unique packaging out there, and K-pop should be proud of its achievements. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you guys get a chance to replay this and that you enjoy my selections. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment section or in your own video what your favorite packaging is. Thanks again, guys. Bye.